You are after more active and faster hips through the downswing and impact. The first thing to understand is that if your hips aren't moving as fast as they should, there's probably a reason for that. And whatever that reason is, should be fixed before you focus on the hips. For example, if you have a steep downswing or an open face and you tend to hit fades and the bad shot is a slice, you probably want to fix that before you start addressing hip turn. In fact, if you're not drawing or hooking the ball, moving the hips faster is probably not the best thing for you. But once you know you're able to start working on this, very simply we have a drill that uses an alignment stick. I'm going to take the stick and pass it through my belt hoops. And this is going to be the guide for what my hips are doing. The feeling is going to be that firstly, how we start the hip turn is going to be pulling the left hip backwards. We don't want to get to the top of the swing and have our right hip coming forwards, as this is going to affect other parts of the swing. So we want to get the left hip moving backwards to begin the downswing, and then of course we continue the turn as we shift through. Once we know that we're moving the hips correctly, the feeling is going to be, I have something behind me that I'm trying to hit with the end of the stick. And the harder I want to hit it, the faster the hips have to move. So start off with a nice smooth practice swing, go to the top. If you have a good full swing, you'll see the stick come out in front of you. And then as you start down, again we have the stick start to move back because the left hip is moving backwards. But we then want to feel that we're starting to get this stick to move really quite fast as it goes behind us. So we start the downswing and we pull that hip backwards. Now you can hit balls with a stick in the hoops. This one is a particularly short stick, so it's good for this drill. But if it's longer, it can get a little bit out of control. Once you've got the feeling of the stick though, you can remove it and just imagine you still have it here. So we've gone to the top of the swing, we start down, I've got the left hip pulling back, and then I start to add more and more speed and get more and more aggressive with it. If we're going to hit some shots, take your setup, have a few practice swings, slow to begin with, just to make sure you're feeling the right elements of it, but then start to speed it up. And you really should start to feel that the swing is becoming quite aggressive. Now, set up to the ball, remember that feeling of pulling that hip back quite aggressively, and then give it a try. Again, remember that if there are elements in the swing that aren't helped with faster hips, you're going to potentially create bad shots. If you start fading or slicing the ball more than normal, you need to address those before you start adding this extra speed to the hips.